All right. Positive energy all the time. Positive energy all the time. You know, I say that a lot. Come on in, come on in. Much respect to my friends over at Starbucks that's always looking out for me. Glad you all are joining me here and there. Welcome to Live with the Moron. So come on in, rep your city. Today I'm representing Think Positive. Think positive. Think positive. If you're on Facebook, think positive. If you're on YouTube, think positive. If you're on Twitch, think positive. If you're on Kick, think positive. Okay? Positive energy all the time. I say that a lot. And tonight I'm going to break it down. If you know people with certain type of depression, going through depression, things like that, tell them, have them to come over, okay? Or send it to them when we're done. I'm going to get into that. Positive energy. Now, positive energy and being positive does not mean that you can't talk about negative things, okay? Talking about things as negative, discussing different things in the community is not negativity unless you're promoting it. Speaking on it is not negativity. Okay? I had a person come over. I did one about gangsters and hustlers. They just looked at the title and came and assumed it was negative. And this is supposed to be an intelligent person that's supposed to watch it first to see what is being discussed, and they end up being the one negative. So we're going to talk about that, and hopefully this discussion helps you all out. I am a not legal psychiatrist and psychologist. I am a natural born psychiatrist and psychologist, psychoanalyst by nature, not by education. And I am a natural born sociologist. My father was a natural born sociologist, and my mother was a natural born psychiatrist and psychologist. And that's a whole nother life thing. I could talk about, the problems with slavery and situation in the South and how a lot of foundational Black Americans never were able to even find out what their skills were, you know. And my parents, if they would have been in a free society, there's a high possibility they would have went into psychology and psychiatry and sociology because they were just natural like that. But then maybe not, because my father did get his training on his job. So he might not have been naturally like that because he was a bus driver. And as a bus driver in a big city like Chicago for many years, he observed many, many people. But the reason I think he's a natural sociologist and somewhat psychologist, because just because you observe them don't mean that you would know how to speak on them like that. My mother was a natural born psychiatrist, and maybe I'll get back to that later. So I kind of got the psychiatry, the psychology, and the sociology by nature. I tell this story all the time. When I went to music college, Vandercook College of Music, we had to take a psychiatry class, a class in psychiatry. And there was a white student there, male. We were around the same age. And so, you take the test for the first half and then the second half. So at the first half, me and him, we was at the top of the class. So I ended up betting him that I would have the highest score at the end of the year. Because, in college and stuff like that, you know, it's not just A, B, and C. It's like, okay, this one got 198, this one got 196. That's how your grades would be. So I bet him. I think we bet like $10, $20, $15. We kids, we freshmen, so we young, 18. So I bet him I get a higher score than him. So the year ended in the psychiatry class or psychology, I forgot which one it was. And I went back to his desk and we pulled up the sheet to see which one of us had the highest score. And it was like he had like 198 and I had like 196. We were the top two in the class. So he won. So I gave him his money. And then I went and got my book that we had to study all year. I got my book on psychiatry. And I took it back to his desk. I gave it to him. I told him, open it. And when he opened my book, it cracked. It had never been opened. So he said, so you at the top of the class and you never opened a book? So he gave me my money back. He said, dude, you won. This is incredible. Because I had never opened my book. I was just born like that. And I was really smart, too smart for my own good, huh? Another thing I used to do that lets me know I am like God, all of us, you got natural born skills. Now, listen, that's not bragging. If you have a natural born skill, recognize it. Now, don't be a person that me too. Don't be a person somebody say, oh, I'm good at art. Me too. No. Deal with your real natural born skill. And if you have a natural talent, it's very good to acknowledge it. You need to acknowledge it, you need to own it, and you need to recognize it. Because if you have children, they're gonna pick that up and you need to know, oh, he's like my sister, she can draw anything. I can't draw nothing. My sister can draw anything. When she was a little girl, they used to have these things in the TV guide, and you draw the little deer or whatever and send it in. And she won. I can't draw a stick man, but I could play any instrument, and I'm natural at music. And I don't know if she got the psychiatry and psychology. I don't know, but I know I have it by nature. So I'm going to use some of it tonight and give you all some information. I've been able to use my psychiatry and psychology and sociology on myself. I've always said that the United States, one of the things that would help this country tremendously is the United States need to have a federal Bureau of Psychology, Psychiatry, and Psychology. Needs to be a part of the U.S. government for positive. So they would be able to, and sociology is a part of it, but they don't have to name it that. It should be psychiatry and psychology, so that they would be able to observe the public and make adjustments to society that would benefit the public psychologically. So, with all that being said, I'm going to talk about positive energy all the time. Now, that term, positive energy all the time, is a something that you should lock into your brain. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be around everything in your life's going to be positive. But it means that when something that you feel is maybe down, maybe not so good, maybe make you a little sad, that's when you use positive energy all the time to pull yourself out of that. So you tell yourself positive energy all the time. You have to remain positive in every last situation. You have to. You have to remain positive. Whether it's a funeral, whether it's a medical condition, you lost a loved one, somebody got seriously hurt, you lost economics, housing, not doing so well in school, fired from your job, car broke down, whatever, you have to remain positive. You have to get yourself back on track. You have to get yourself back on track. Because what happens, negativity, positivity, negativity. Negativity starts to, you know, so they say, well, if things are going negative, why would I push positive, positive? Because you think to yourself, well, I just lost my mom or whatever. So thinking positive is not going to bring me back when I'm going through this. That's true. You lost a loved one. You're going this way negative. Thinking positive is not going to bring you back. So what is thinking positive going to do? Thinking positive is going to stop you from going this way. You're going to go a little bit of this way. Thinking positive won't bring you back, but it will hit the brakes. So you don't bottom out. It'll stop you from just negative, 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 negative. So when you're feeling negative, you think positive, and it's not going to just help your heart break or whatever. You're not going to just jump up out the hospital and not be sick, but it's going to stop it from going this way. So you think positive. Okay, I got to think positive, and then you stop it. And then if you hold it and you keep thinking positive, after so much time, what'll happen? It'll close back up. Could be a day, could be a week, could be 3 years, 7 years. But it won't get worse. It will always get slightly better or a lot better. Because if things going bad, it's too late to, hey, things are going bad. You got to be realistic. Things are going bad. The being upset about it is not going to make it go good, right? So sometimes you got to face what it is. I didn't crash and tore up my new car. That's what happened. Let me think positive. Because getting down and out, getting depressed, beating yourself over with, sometimes I make you miss opportunities to fix things. So you're not feeling that well. You're in the hospital. You're sick with something. What are you going to do? You're going to get more and more depressed, or you're going to think, man, I'm finna exercise. I'm finna go on this crazy plant-based way of eating. I'm finna consume fresh juices. I'm finna do some herbs. I'm finna beat this. Yeah, I'm finna beat this. You have to have positive energy all the time. One of the best things to do is look at everybody else. Look at all the other people, what's bad going on with all the people. And then you won't feel so bad. You'll be like, well, hey, people catching hell everywhere. So I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Look at, you sit back and you say, well, look at Gaza. Look at them people in Gaza and compare that to you and say, you know what? Yeah, I had an accident. I lost my big toe. But at least I ain't lost my big toe and I'm in Gaza. Let's say you in Gaza and all this horrible stuff happened to you. You'll say, well, what can I think positive? You can think, well, at least I'm not up under the buildings like some of my brothers and sisters. Because if you're alive, that's positive. The most negative is you're not even here to be upset. You're gone. So when things, the way your body is made, is when things are so bad you can't handle it, you're unalived. Am I correct? Right? If you're unalive, that means it's really bad. It's as bad as it can get. Now, if you're alive, it's not as bad as it can get, and it can get better. It can't get better if you're unalive. But if you are alive, things can get better. That's how you got to look at it. Things could get better. You got to say, who the heck I'm supposed to be? So I'm supposed to be the only person on the planet that don't have bad things happen? I'm not special. Bad things happen to a lot of people, and it just happened to me. Oh well. Let me get out. Let me get out of this mess. You're homeless. Some things came up. You end up getting evicted. If you be down and out, you'll never get out them streets. The only way you can make it is you got to roll your sleeves up and try to figure out how you can fix this. A woe is me, I'll just make it worse. Some people, woe is me, they go turn to alcohol, they turn to substance abuse, and it just goes downhill, downhill, downhill. You have to have positive energy all the time, no matter what happens. No matter what. No matter what. You got to look on the bright side, no matter how bad the dark side is. You got to look on the bright side. You don't have no other choice. Now, thinking positive is not going to clear your brain. That stuff's going to still be in your brain. And that's why you got to think positive, because you got to constantly try to clear your brain. So every time you get in a funk, you got to tell yourself, get out the funk, get out the funk. See what I'm saying? What I'm saying is not going to stop you from getting in a funk. It's going to stop you from staying in a funk, though. All right? So you got to have a positive mindset. Okay. So, like health issues, we'll start with that. Yeah, I got stabbed and I couldn't walk. I had to learn how to walk. I lost a lot of money because I was supposed to go on a big tour. So I couldn't go on the tour. The people came to the hospital and refunded me my money for the tour. I was supposed to go on a big Sunsplash tour. And I basically got stabbed for nothing. And I ended up back in Chicago in a wheelchair. And I really didn't go into no depression. I don't know why. I wish I knew why, but I didn't really go into no depression. My whole mind was based on healing, walking again. That's it. That's all. I wasn't thinking about how bad it was. I was thinking about how it's gonna be, how I'm gonna fix it, how it's gonna be better. That's what I was thinking on. So that's why I went to rehab like I was supposed to and did everything they told me to do. And next thing you know, I was walking. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't dwell on not being able to walk. I didn't really. I didn't really dwell on that. Yeah, I didn't really dwell on that because I had enough sense to know that ain't gonna help nothing. It's done already. So I had to stay positive. So he said depression is a very serious problem. But depression is self-inflicting. And uh, depression is something I went through depression once too. But what people don't understand about depression is depression don't sound like what it really is. And so what a lot of people don't know is they think when they hear depression, they think you walk around and you feel depressed. You feel down and out in some cases. But in my case, I didn't know I was depressed. I didn't feel depressed. And so depression a lot of times can be observed by your partner or who you're around, your family, your partner could tell you depressed. You might not know. And so when I went through depression, I didn't know I was depressed. I didn't know I was depressed until I wasn't depressed no more. But I didn't know I was depressed. Hey, I was still working, hustling, trying to make some money, and I really didn't know. Much respect, Global Loopy G. So I went through depression, but I didn't know. And see, that's what if I would have knew what I knew now, I would have been able to not really go through it that long. But I didn't know. I didn't know because when you hear the word depression, you think you feel down and out, but that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. You won't necessarily feel depressed in your mind. That's a fact. You'll just be acting different, but you won't be aware that you're acting different. You won't be aware. In some cases, you won't be aware that you was going through depression until you come out of it. And you be like, oh wow, I think I was depressed. I'm telling you, it's a fact. I went through depression, but I didn't know it. I wasn't sad because that's what it sounds like, don't it? Depression sound like, you're gonna be sad. I wasn't sad. I wasn't sad. Let me tell it, I was regular. I was normal. That's a fact. Let me tell it, I was normal. Bills had to be paid, things had to be done. So I was still out there chasing the dollar, trying to get, what I'm saying? I was depressed when I was on live and I was going through depression. I didn't know it. Y'all didn't know it either. I didn't know. I was on live. I was doing lives. I don't know when it started. I think maybe it started after my father passed away, but I didn't know because I wasn't sad over him passing away. I wasn't sad over that. So I'm like, wow, I don't know what depression is because depression sounds like something you would recognize, don't it? You know what I mean? When you're depression, you thinking you would be like womp 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 womp, but I wasn't like that. But my mate would have been able to tell, but I don't think they knew what depression was either. I don't think they knew the signs of depression. I don't think they knew either. Nobody would have thought I was depressed because I wasn't really talking depressed or looking depressed. Now you tell me that's not crazy. I didn't even know I was depressed. So they not really teaching people about depression. You only don't necessarily know. But one way you can tell it's gonna mess up your eating. Yeah, there's different types. Yeah, there's different types. But one way you can tell it's gonna mess up your eating. It's definitely you're not gonna eat, you're not gonna be hungry like that. That's one of the ways for sure. But you're gonna be in a daze, but you won't know it. Especially if you're a very busy person. You won't you don't have no way to measure the new you that's depressed with the old you. So there's nothing to measure it by, especially if you got a job. So that's why they different, Mrs. Moore, because if you got a job and you're going through depression, you're getting up going to work every day. Somebody that lost their job, they might be able to notice because they ain't getting up doing nothing. So they sitting still. So they might, you know, but if you are busy and you have to be busy, you're not going to be sitting still enough to notice it because you're in the rat race, you know, because you could be going through depression and be sad. But the sadness is not depression. The sadness is your sadness. That's not depression. But the way they have you thinking is that depression is sadness. That's not true. So if you lose a loved one, you're going to be sad. But that's not depression. There's other things that's going to be signs that's going to be the depression. So you're not sad because you are depressed. You're sad and depressed. Two different things. They're not the same, but nobody never told me that. I had to find out for myself. Depression is not noticeable on yourself. Depression is like, say you're sitting in your kitchen and you got a clock in the kitchen and it's 12 noon. Depression is like this. You're doing stuff, but you never see the clock move. You're not gonna see it move. But when you're looking away and doing stuff and you look back, it's 12:10. But you didn't see it move. That's depression. You're going into depression, but you're not gonna see it moving. It's just gonna go chirk, chirk, but you're not gonna see it. It's not like you're gonna be like, oh, I'm going into depression. It doesn't work like that. It works just like the clock. You're not gonna see it move. And because you live in your regular life, you're not gonna necessarily notice it. And so if I was teaching about depression, I would teach you to look for it in other people to help them notice it. See, if the people the ones I was around knew the signs of depression, they could have seen I was going through depression, but they didn't know either. They didn't know I was going through no depression. I didn't know, and they didn't know because we don't know what it is. So being sad is not depression, but they don't explain to us depression sounds like sadness. So we think somebody lose their mother and they sad, we think that's depression. That's not depression. But they could end up going through depression. But the sadness is not it. It's the fact they're not eating. Maybe their hygiene might go down. They used to shower every day. Now they showering once a week, twice a week. They used to wash their clothes all the time. Now they pile up a little bit. They still wash them, but they pile up a little bit. So it's really hard to see it. They're a little distant, but they still there. You're not gonna know they distant. They not gonna know they distant. They're not gonna know they distant, and they're not. You're not gonna know. That's crazy, and I found out firsthand. Now I don't know where it came from. I know I had H. pylori. That might have did it. I don't know. My father passed. My mother passed away. Then some years later, my father passed away. I was taking care of him. I had H. pylori, so I don't know. I don't know what it was, and I didn't know for some years before I realized, oh, I didn't know I was going through depression until I was coming out of it. When I was coming out of it, I was like, you can't come out of something unless you was in something, right? So I'm coming out of something. I'm like, dang, I didn't even know I was in something. How the hell am I coming out of something I didn't know I was in? That's the only way I knew I was dealing with depression is when it was going away. And I was able to measure, oh, wow. I never knew. But if you do diagnose with depression or you find out or you lose a loved one or whatever, the only thing gonna help you is thinking positive. The mind is very powerful. So even when things are not going well, especially when things are not going well, you gotta think positive because the mind is very positive. You got to think, I'm gonna make it through this. Oh, this ain't that bad. I'll be all right. Now you got different things like health issues. Health issues is something that you got to think positive. Okay, you was diagnosed with cancer. You have to think more positive than you've ever thought before in your life if you want to heal. You have to think positive because when you think negative, the body reverts. When you think positive, the body grows. And so if you're unhealthy and you thinking negative and you sad, it's just womp, 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 womp. So the only way you can come out of it, you got to think positive. You got to think, I'm going to beat this cancer. Period. No doubts. You got to be hyped up about going and do your treatments and doing whatever you got to do. You got to go do your own research. You got to want to live. You got to go this way. You have to think positive. That's what prayer. See, they don't explain to you about prayer in the church. The reason prayer is positive because prayer is positive thinking. That's why prayer works. That's why prayer works. It's not God, it's you. It's the God and the goddess in you. So when you're praying, right? When you're praying to get better or praying for something, now you're putting that energy out there for something good. And that's how things go good. That's how things, you have to. And this is for like anything you got going in your life that you feel is like going negative. You got to think positive. You have to stay positive. You have to. Or it's just going to get worse. Your man left you, or your woman left you. You really, really loved them. Maybe they with somebody else. You got to think positive. You got to think, I'll be all right. I'll get over it. That's how you got to think. I'll get over it. You're not over it, but you got to think, I'll be all right. It'll be over. This will go away. That's how you got to think. You know, I'm 68, so I've been in some relationships. I've been in some breakups. And it's just like you thinking about the woman, and you got to tell yourself, slowly she'll get out my mind. She'll dissipate out of my psyche a little bit at a time. Just give it time. Right? So do you sit there and think about the breakup of the man or the woman? No, you think what? Positive. That's what you do. You had a bad breakup with a man, you had a bad breakup with a woman, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You think positive. You think, oh man, broke up, man. I really loved her. Well, let me go get this money. Let me stack this money. That's always a good one. And you start stacking that money, and if that money stack up more than it did when you was with him or with her, you might start thinking, you know what? I'm actually doing better. Maybe there was a hindrance. Now that I think about it, maybe good riddance. Now that I think about it, no, I got a new car, a new place to live. I got extra money. And you men out there, especially you men, you got this woman, you're buying her this, you're buying that, you're taking her here, you're doing that, you're spending money trying to please her, and she don't want to be with you no more, and she leave. And you start focusing on your money, and that money start growing, and you'll be like, she call you, what you been doing? I've been actually doing better. What do you want? You know what I'm saying? Now that you mentioned it, you know what I'm saying? Now you sound like less money. I done kind of got used to. I done kind of got used to money. What Pharaoh unknown haters my pops weren't aware of caused his demise. I'm trying to keep positive. It's hard knowing what I know. Listen, he's gone. Right? He passed away. Now, what is negativity? Is that gonna bring him back? No. That's water under the bridge. You're not going to crash out. You got a wife, you got your own son. So you got to move on. You got to move on. You can't keep dwelling on that because dwelling on that, G-Ra, will put you in the grave. You're going to that's what it's going to do. It's not going to, it's not going to help you. It could make you sick. Next thing you know, you're sick. Next thing you know, you're sick. Dwelling on that. You got to let that go. There's nothing you could do about it. Nothing. The only time you could do something about it is if you could keep him alive. But once he's unalive, it's a wrap. There's nothing you could do. It's an unfortunate situation. It's a bad situation, for sure. It's a horrible situation. But things going worse for you makes it even worse. So you'll say, well, what do you mean positive energy all the time? Okay, increase your life then. Increase your money, increase your health. Turn that negative to a positive for you, your wife, and your son. Think positive. What could you do positive? And then get engulfed with the positivity. That's how you beat it. That's how you beat it, G-Rock. Get engulfed with the positivity. What could you do right now positive? And use that to jumpstart something positive. Right. Counter the negative thought 100%. The queen, though, she ain't just pretty, she's smart. That's what you do. See, right? You got to flip that. Positive, positive. Because the negative, there's no benefit from it. And you a businessman, you get money, you know exactly what I'm saying. That's a dead end street. Period. Stay away from them people that was negative and use this to motivate you to do more to get more money, to do more better stuff, to be better with your son, to be there for your son, and be glad you're there for your son because your father ain't there for you no more. Think positive. because y'all know what I teach. Your father ain't went nowhere. You is your father. And your son is your father. Your son, your father's sperm, he slept with a woman and he reincarnated, G-Rock. He didn't go nowhere. Your father slept with your mother and he went inside your mother and she gave birth to him. So you was already here 3 times. Him, you, and your son is the same person. So he really ain't went nowhere. You, him. He ain't went nowhere. Not really. So now in this dispensation as him, what do you want to do in life? Because you're still here. I'm talking to your daddy right now. My daddy ain't gone. You're looking at my daddy. Because the way the creator made this is you give birth to yourself and then you raise yourself and then you teach yourself, this is what you do in the future. Do this, do this, do this. And you teach yourself what to do in the future. That's a fact. So when everything my father was teaching me, he was telling himself, this is what you do in this next life. Do it like this, do it like that. And then what do you do, G-Rock? I could prove it. Every mistake you say you've done, you're going to tell your son don't do it, right? So when you tell your son don't make these mistakes, you're telling yourself, listen, now you back again. Don't do the same thing you did last time, basically, right? I'm telling you. So your father be trying to stop you from doing the same thing you already did in his lifetime. So he telling you, I'm back again. I got a new start. Don't do this. Don't do that. Do it like this. Do it like that. And then you make improvements on your new life. They can't do nothing to your daddy because he already in the future. He gone. Your daddy is your son. Your daddy already been reincarnated. He been gone. They couldn't do nothing to him. Y'all was here 3 times. If your granddaddy was here, y'all was here 4 times. I got a picture I got to find it. It's my daddy, me, my son, and my grandson. The same person 4 times. I got the one with the 3, but I got to find the one with all 4 of us. I don't know where it's at. I think it's in my old phone. I got to have some type of expert go on my phone to get that picture. And you see the same person 4 times, 4 generations. I mean, that shouldn't be the only thing keeping your head up and over, but I understand what you're saying, but ain't no need of you being down. What you want to do? You want to make it worse? Your father gone, you won't be gone too. You ain't got no choice. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You worrying about something that you shouldn't really be focusing on. Be honest with you. You're a businessman. In business, do you focus on something you can't do nothing about? No. You can't do nothing about that. That's water under the bridge. So now you got to think positive, okay? So this is you thinking about your father. This is positive. And this space in here is you think about your father. So, right? Positive energy all the time. Positive. You close that gap and you back 100% positive. Now is the time to think positive. You cannot think negative right now. You can't be, you just going to drive yourself. It's going to mess up your money. It's going to mess up where you at now. You already reincarnated. You already got a son. And it just is what it is. Like I said, I got stabbed and couldn't walk. I could have passed away, but I lived. I had to focus on walking, and I ended up building a record label and getting songs on TV and all that. When I got stabbed, I couldn't walk. I had a daughter and 2 sons. I had 3 children since then. So how bad was it? It wasn't bad at all. It's only bad if I let my mind make it bad. It ain't bad. Your mind making it bad, G-Rock. That's it. You can't dwell on that. What you're doing is you're doing this. That's why you feel bad. Because you thinking them negative thoughts. You need to be thinking positive. You need to be thinking about your money, your wife, your children, and what you're trying to do. That you don't need to be thinking about your father like that. And you need to make sure you don't go into depression, because you will go in depression over that. So you need to be making sure the way you living ain't changing, that you still bathing the same amount, that you still taking your showers regularly, that you still got your appetite. That's what you need to be making sure, that you don't be going into depression. That's what you need to be. And you need to just let that go. It's water under the bridge. And the people you think that ain't no good, the lesson is stay the hell away from them. Just you stay away from them. And let them get their karma. That's why I say, I don't say positive energy sometimes. Positive energy all the time. Positive energy, G-Rock, all the time. You're not way over here from Africa. You over here trying to get some money, trying to live a better life. Boy, you don't got no time to let, if they was negative and they did something negative, that's what you don't understand. They're trying to pass that negative energy to you. So if you feel like there were some people doing negative stuff to your daddy, why would you let them win by passing it to you? See? Then they win. You got to throw that negativity back on them and go do what you got to do. That's the only way you can win. The only way you're going to win, the only way you're going to really respect your father is by not letting that affect you. And I'm going to tell you right now, your father would tell you, well, you're 100% what I'm saying. Your father would not want you tied up in that at all. So if you really loved him, ain't no way he would not want that. He would tell you just what I'm telling you. He don't want you worrying about that. That's a fact. He wants you to go and now be even more successful. That's what he wants. He don't want you to let the negativity. No, he wants you now. You need to be working more harder, more successful, and thinking positive. And go home and hug your wife while she's here. Because you mess around, get so caught up with that, and lose somebody else, and lose somebody else, and lose somebody else. Because you see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, this is how this works. They're trying to pass that dark energy to you. Nah. Think about it. How you end up with all this dark energy? You got that dark energy from them. So if they did all this dark stuff around your father, now you throw that ball back. No, I don't want that. Y'all go ahead with that. That's why I say positive energy all the time. Positive energy all the time is your medicine to fight against negativity. Because negativity is out here all the time. So if negativity is out here all the time, then we got to have positive energy all the time. Because the negative energy is always, so we got to be positive, because this negativity constant. So if negativity is all the time, then positivity got to be all the time to block it. And soon as you get negative, negativity going to run over you. I don't care what happens. You got to tell your mind. So now G-Rock is perfect, because your mind is going through a lot. So You have to force yourself to be negative. That's what that saying means. That's what it means, positive energy all the time. That means you got to like chant that like a prayer. See, what they don't tell you about prayer is God don't do nothing when you pray. When you pray, you do it. You put the energy out there. Because when you pray for something and you really mean your prayer, if you pray to God and you really mean what you're praying, then you'll act that out. And then you'll manifest it. The prayer just strengthens you. And you fulfill your prayers. It's just like if my mother at the house and she's sick and I pray she get well. What I'm going to do when I get through prayer? I'm going to go make her some tea. I'm going to go do this because I said I want her to be well. So then that's going to make me what? Go try to nourish her back. So the prayer is like reinforce me to do what I need to do. That's why it's positive energy all the time. It's got to be positive energy all the time. Let's take a break. Support the channel. You see how I did positive and negative like that? Let me show you something. That ain't even how it really is. Positive and negative ain't like that. Positive and negative is like this. And so this negative. So when this negative comes, it's some more behind it. So if I have this negative experience and I dwell on it too long, the next one gonna come and the next one gonna come. So I gotta beat this negative experience so I'm fresh, ready for the next fight. Because the world we live in, the negativity ain't no one-time thing. Show me where negativity is a one thing. It's constant. Boom, you're going through something. First you break up with your girl. You all upset about that. Then something happened with your money. Boom, negative. Then negative. And then it's some more negative waiting on your ass. So now you got to be positive, positive, positive all the time. Or it's going to run over you. It's going to run over you. So if it's 5 things negative from after you, you need to have 10 times positive on your side. Yeah, you got to be positive all the time. You have to be, because you constantly going to be going through something. You're going to look at the list. Health issues, breakups, financial issues, friendships, family issues, and more, constantly. That ain't even counting about you come home and the house done burned down. You had electrical fire. Your man left you, but you got your house. You come back from work, 2 months go by, you come one day from work, the neighbor's house done burned down, the fire done jumped over your house, burnt your house down too. This is how it really be. So if you ain't positive all the time, you ain't got a chance in hell. I'm telling you what I know, okay? I'm telling you what I know. For the criminals out there, you're trying to change your life around. You got to go to court. If you ain't positive, you're going to prison. You is not going to beat that case if you're not positive. If you're not thinking about the positive things you want to do in your life, if you ain't thinking about positively beating that case, and you wavering, you're going to lose. And you're going to prison. You have to stay positive to fight everything going on with you. You go somewhere, your face break out. You a lady, you want to be pretty. Your face done broke out. You got this ugly stuff on your face. You got to be positive. Go find out how to get it off of there. You got to be positive. Look it up. Oh, if I mix this together, oh, with some herbs. Oh, do this. You start mixing that, putting it on every day. It go away. You know why it went away? Because you was positive. You went and positively got that off your face. They call it proactive. Pro, not negative active. Not negative active, proactive. Other than that, you ain't got a chance. Period. So when life is messed up, that's when you got to think positive. You're like, all right, my money messed up. I'm going to get me some money. That don't mean you overlook what's going on. You look at what's going on. I'm broke. But you don't be like, oh, I'm broke and I'm down. You be like, I'm broke and I'm going to be unbroke. I ain't saying be fake. Admit it. I'm broke. But I'm finna be unbroke. And then you start thinking positive. Well, listen, I'm alive. I'm alive so I can get me some money. I'm going to get me some money because I could be broke and in the hospital. It's like the old folks used to say. They used to tell this at the barbershops when I was little. They said a man walking down the street and he had lost his finger and he was sad. And then he bumped into a man that lost his hand. And so they walked together and the man without the finger was trying to cheer up the man without a hand. Then they ran into a man didn't have an arm. And they keep on going. See what I'm saying? The man that lost his finger didn't feel so bad when he ran into the man lost his whole hand. So we like, oh, you don't got no fingers. I got 4. I got 9 fingers. You only got 5. Oh, okay, it ain't that bad. That's what the old folks used to tell to let you know, things could be worse to the point you're not even here. So it's like negativity happened to all of us. But the game is to get out of it, not to wallow in it. You got to have faith. That's what they be trying to teach you in religion. So you got to have positive energy all the time, all the time. Okay, let me explain. So I live over here and this man live over there. Something happened where I end up homeless and he end up homeless. And they say, come down, they giving out some free food somewhere. So I go to get in line to get the free food and he go to get in line to get the free food. Right? So now I'm a vegan, so I got to get the food and just eat the bread and stuff like that, but I got to do what I got to do. So we both there. Now he depressed. He can't get over the fact he homeless. I'm homeless. But I'm thinking I'm finna get unhomeless. He thinking how homeless he is. I'm thinking I'm finna get unhomeless. Right? So he homeless. He not thinking positive. I'm still thinking positive. I'm thinking positive. I see some people with some papers. I said, what's that? They said, a lady giving out papers right there that if you go to this place, they'll help you get somewhere to live. While he's sitting there dwelling on being homeless, I then went down to the place where they got the paper at. I went down there, filled it out. 2 weeks later, I got an apartment. I ain't homeless no more. You know why? Because I'm thinking positive. I'm not thinking I'm homeless. I'm thinking how I'm finna get unhomeless. I'm not finna be thinking, oh, I'm homeless. I'm finna think I got to get a spot. So because I'm trying to get a spot, I'll get a spot. The ones out there, woe is me, still going to be out there. Because there's all kind of opportunities out here. But you got to seek and ye shall find. And if you ain't seeking, you ain't going to see the opportunity. The people that get blessings are the ones looking for it, the ones that's praying for it and looking for it. They the ones get it. Prayer means ask. What it say? Knock and what? The door be open. Ask and it shall be given. So prayer is letting the elements of the world know, I want this, I want that. And then if you praying for that, that means you proactive. So that means any opportunity to get that, you gonna go get it. The prayer just stimulates you to go get it. So that's the difference between me and the other homeless person. The other homeless people gonna stay homeless. I'm not finna stay homeless. Period. I could be homeless. I ain't finna stay home. I already know I'm not gonna stay homeless. I'm finna get a spot. Facts. I'm not finna be sitting out here, woe is me. Oh no, I'm finna get a spot. And that's the people that don't be homeless long. The people is telling you why. Yeah, the ones that still gonna go make it happen. The ones that are trying to make it happen, gonna make it happen. I'm telling you. I don't care how bad it is. If you ain't going for it, it's you. Your situation gonna get better. That's a fact. But if you go into down and out, woe is me, and you ain't thinking positive, you will hit the bottom. You won't even see opportunities. The people that's thinking positive is looking for opportunity. They're asking, hey, they got some, where the homeless people go to get a place? Oh, right over there. Now these other people ain't asking nobody nothing. They just homeless and down and out. You're going trying to find out how I get unhomeless. You'll go down to City Hall because there's all kind of programs. But if you don't want nothing, you ain't even gonna go find the programs. They giving away housing, giving away food, giving away clothes. But if you ain't positive, you ain't gonna know where it's at. And then when you get down there, they say, how you get there? You're going to see all the other positive people in line getting that free housing. All the ones like you that's thinking positive, they're going to go there and get them houses. Period. And then you get in your little place and you start working and saving your little money, and you look up 3 years later, you're still there. You got a nice little place. You got $10,000 in your little safe or whatever. And shoot, man, you on a whole nother page. You know, you're on a whole nother page. You stayed positive. You have to stay positive. You ain't got no choice. You have to have positive energy all the time, all the time, all the time. Because there's bad stuff constantly. Hitting you. Like you in a boxer. You got to stick and move or you're going to get knocked out. It ain't going to stop. And then when you think positive, a lot of blows start missing you because you start moving positive. You start moving in a way that cut down your chances of something bad. You start moving in a way where you're going to have less disasters instead of moving sloppy. You ain't going to be like the person driving their car, running red lights, and then tell their car right tomorrow, bad stuff happened to them. Fool, you was out there driving faster than the speed limit, no seatbelt on, running red lights. See what I'm saying? You was looking for negativity. So you got, if you're not positive, you ain't gonna make it, especially in this next future with what they doing. In this evil world right here, this world is evil. So if you ain't positive, and they ain't gonna bring you none. This system ain't gonna bring you no positivity. It's not gonna happen. Look. Okay, number one, refrain from negative thoughts. Catch yourself when you are catastrophizing and actively rewrite the narrative. Instead of saying I failed, try I am proud of myself for trying. And now I know what to do differently next time. Start a gratitude practice. Train your brain to scan for the good. Write down or say 3 specific things you are grateful for each day, like a good cup of coffee or a supportive friend. 3, practice compassion self talk. You know what compassionate self talk is? Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a best friend. Challenge your inner critic and focus on your strengths rather than obsessing over weaknesses. You tell yourself, yeah, this finna happen. Okay, your man left you, he cheated on you. You tell yourself, well, I'm gonna give me some money and get my life together. And then eventually I'm gonna have a man, he gonna be better than him. Just like that. I don't even want no man right now. I need my money and stuff together. Let me take advantage of him leaving me and let me step my game up for me. Let me make my situation better. Let me make my situation better. I miss him. I love him. He broke my heart. You're thinking, I'm finna unbreak my heart. That's how you thinking. Oh, I'm finna get over him. I'm feeling him or her. Yeah, I miss him, but I ain't gonna miss him long. You don't lie to yourself. Don't pretend you don't miss him. Be honest. But tell yourself, I'm gonna get over that though. That's gonna be out of here. So instead of keep calling this phone, you're like, I ain't calling this phone no more. I gotta get over this dude. I ain't calling her phone no more. I gotta get over her. I'm not calling her. And I might not answer my phone when she calls. I gotta move on. I gotta go make stuff happen. All you gotta do is stay with that. That's all you gotta do. Loveliness. Look, 4, filter your inputs. What you consume matters. Consciously spend time with positive, supportive people and consume uplifting content like a funny podcast to short circuit overthinking. So right, you want to short circuit. You don't want to just something round and round and round your head. So watch something take your mind off of it. If you can't find nobody positive, then just be with yourself and talk to yourself and tell yourself, man, stay positive. Think to yourself, this gonna be over. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this little bank account. I'm gonna put $25 in there every week. Stuff like that. Now you start thinking about that. Yeah, you miss him or you miss her, but now the bank account say 25. The next week, 50. The next week, 75. Next week, 100. You're gonna still be thinking about him, thinking about her. The next month over, 200. You're gonna still be thinking about him. 12 months later, it's $1,200. You ain't gonna be thinking about them too much no more. You're gonna be like, you know what? I'm on to something. I'm on to something now that I wasn't on when I was with them. I don't know. This might have been good for me. This has turned out better for me, actually. You know what? I wasn't doing so good with them now that I think about it. I was fat or I was skinny. I wasn't in shape. Let me go to the gym. Let me do some self improvement. Then you're going to realize that situation I was in, I wasn't doing no self improvement. So now, when you think about that person, you might love them, but you're thinking, okay, I got $20,000. When I broke up with them, I had $300. No, I don't want to go back with them. They represent $300. You know what I'm saying? Why would I go back to the life where I wasn't doing as good as I'm doing now? So if you're going to do better, you ain't going to want to go back. You're going to start looking at, I really was stagnant in that relationship now that I look at it, I was stagnant. So now you're going to think, I hope they doing better because I'm doing better. And you're like, but maybe they in a situation where it's going to be stagnant or do better. Maybe this is how it's supposed to be. We ain't supposed to be together. Yeah, we ain't supposed to be together. I see that now. I see it now. I had a whole nother life ahead of me. Now, you might still love him or love her, but you don't want to be with him now. At first, you loved them and you kind of wanted them back. Now, a year later, you love them, but you wouldn't get back in that relationship. You don't love them like that. You're like, oh, I ain't going back into that, though. I don't love you that much. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Stay rooted in the present. Most anxiety comes from worrying about the future or regretting the past. When you feel overwhelmed, bring your focus back to what you can control right now. What could you do now? Go clean the bathroom. Go take the trash out. Man, let me make me a smoothie. Let me make me some juice. Let me do some of this stuff I've been overlooking to better my situation. I ain't been focusing on me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it ain't no problem. I ain't paying no attention. I don't mind emojis from women. I don't like emojis from men. I don't mind women that post emojis and stuff. Don't bother me. I think men should be more masculine. I think a smiley face and stuff is feminine. So I ain't got no problem with the women posting emojis. Just the men, I want the men to be a little more soldiers and stuff. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We just say what we say. We don't, you know what I'm saying? So that's against the men. That's not against you women. I don't have no problem with women posting emojis and pictures and hearts and stuff and smiley face. That's what a woman. I don't like the men doing that. So I'm glad you said that. I don't like the men doing that because it look feminine. You feminine, so it's perfect. But a soldier ain't supposed to be doing that. How me and my wife posting emojis? One of us supposed to be emojis and one of us not. We ain't supposed to be the same. You feel me? So you got to be focused. You gotta have positive energy, okay? You understand? Gratitude. Regularly practicing gratitude, either through journaling or simply reflecting on things you are thankful for, can promote a positive outlook and increase feelings of happiness. Limiting harmful substances, reducing or eliminating alcohol, substances, and excessive screen time can significantly improve your mental health. Seeking support. If you're struggling with your mental health, don't hesitate to reach out for help. Talking to a mental health professional, a trusted friend or family member, or join a support group can provide valuable guidance and support. Setting goals and priorities. This is what's important. Having a sense of purpose and direction can increase motivation and reduce feelings of overwhelm. So you set some goals and start focusing on that. That's why exercise is perfect. Because as you start exercising, after a while, you start feeling a sense of self accomplishment. And that takes you off of thinking about all the other stuff. additional tips: spend time in nature. Being outdoors can have a calming and restorative effect on your mind and body. Get out, ride a bike, take a walk, go to the beach, live, breathe, look. Find ways to relax and reduce stress. Engage in activities that you enjoy and that help you de stress, such as reading, listening to music, or spending time with loved ones. Practice self compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during challenging times. Like a lot of times, it ain't good to talk to people about that. It's good to talk, but maybe just to one person and maybe sparingly, because all you're doing is rehashing it. And you don't want to keep rehashing it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna help you. When you then went through something, when you went through something, what you want to do is you want to forget about it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Y'all support the channel. Much love. You want to forget about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to keep rehashing. It's really not that healthy. It's just not. Because it's not like positive energy, it's like negative energy. So if you break up with your woman or your woman cheat on you or whatever to the men, you don't be want to keep talking about that. You want to talk about something else. You already went through a horrible time with that. So you don't want to talk about that. She this, and then she. No, you try to forget about her. You try to take your man off of that. So you don't want to hash over that. Because I'm going to tell you why. There's certain people you could talk to going to help you. There's other people you could talk to going to make it worse. And you don't know which one to talk to. You might talk to the wrong person. That's going to stimulate your mind to think about it more. You might not talk to somebody like me that don't say like, man, forget about him or forget about her. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be like, man, forget about them. They gone. What you want to do? It's a wrap. That's what I'm gonna tell you. You a lady, you tell me you broke up with your man. I'm gonna be like, girl, you fine as hell, you cute as hell. What you worry about him for? It's 1,000 men out here. I'm gonna tell you just like that. I'm like, baby girl, listen, it's 1,000 men out here. And 990 of them, you don't want them. Baby girl. He cheated on you, he left. It's 1,000 men out here. And 990 of them, you don't want them. You know what I'm saying? So jump your ass back and we're out there real quick because you're gonna pull another L. You know what I'm saying? That's all you're gonna do. You're gonna jump from L to L. Yeah. You better do you. I'm just saying. It's time to do you. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say, baby girl, I could tell you what to do in 3 syllables. I know he gone, but I'm gonna tell you what to do in 3 syllables. Vibrator. I'm gonna tell you, baby girl. I'm gonna say, get you a vibrator. You know what I'm saying? And name it Hero. And then dump that zero and get with that hero. Get that little off of you and go on and do what you got to do. Yeah. Yeah. They got something that make you relax. You can relax yourself now. Yeah. Go get you a vibrator. Every time you go shake it off with the vibrator and go get your bag. And then you ain't got the headache. You gonna sleep like a baby and go concentrate on what you gotta do and wait till somebody really good come in your life so you don't mess around and just get with somebody because you're lonely. Same for the men. Just don't jump out in a relationship and jump into another one necessarily. Because for one, if I jump out of a relationship, right, ladies, and my heart broke, and then I get with you, I'm not really with you because I like you. I'm with you under some emotional stuff. So now when that play off, our relationship ain't gonna even work out. Cause I didn't win and jumped in a relationship, but it ain't really organic. I'm running just looking for somebody to replace somebody. So I don't really like you. I don't really even know what I'm doing. I ain't even in my right mind. Am I lying, ladies? I shouldn't jump out in a relationship where I miss somebody or it ended bad and then jump into no relationship with you. That's not gonna be organic. That's gonna be GMO. Am I lying? That's gonna be GMO. Facts. You ain't in your right mind to just jump in a relationship. You just not. Because when you're in a relationship and you like somebody, you still want to be with them. But the longer you're with them, the less you want to be with them. The less you're gonna still like them, but you're gonna want to be with them less and less and less and less. And after so long, you still might like them, but you wouldn't take them back. You might still look at them kind of like a friend. And then after they keep going longer, they ain't gonna even be a friend. You ain't gonna want to talk to them or nothing because for what? That's over. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get them wounds time to heal on their own. Don't be mad, rushing, trying to heal. If I cut my hand, yeah, I might put a band-aid, I might put some peroxide on it or whatever. But it still gotta heal on its own. I can't make it heal fast. Well, relationships, economical situations, all that's the same way. It's just like cutting yourself. You gotta let it heal on its own. You know what I'm saying? And then here go the thing. You can't be mad because your mind messed up. You got to accept it. So if I go through a bad breakup, because that's what most of a lot of people are dealing with. If I go through a bad breakup, right, and I missed a woman, or I feel like it didn't end right, and I'm mad about that, so I miss them and I'm mad. You got to just accept that. You just got to accept you miss them and you mad. That's it. Don't try to fight it. Just accept it, and I miss them, and I'm mad, and I'm moving on. You'll be much better out. I miss him, I'm mad, and I'm moving on. And then you'll miss him less. You'll be mad lesser, lesser, lesser. You'll be moving on more and more and more. Because denying your feelings just make you caught up in your feelings longer. The longer you deny everything, the longer it lags. The sooner you admit what everything is, the quicker you can heal. That goes for medical problems, financial problems, all that. The sooner you accept what's really going on, you can move on. But you can't move on if you're in denial. So if it's finances, you got to accept the fact your money messed up, and you got to accept the fact you probably did some stupid stuff. You didn't save money like you should have, and then that's what's gonna help you move on. Man, I didn't save my money right. I thought I was gonna have a job forever. Lost the job, didn't have no money in the bank or nothing. Running around buying clothes, getting my hair done, going running to this party, that party, that party, and now I ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. See what I'm saying? And so once you be honest with yourself, that's the only way you're gonna be able to get over everything that happened to you. and move on. You got to be honest. Whatever it is, be honest. And be positive. Your whole life, be positive. Like I tell people, sometimes people ask me about death. I tell them when I die, I'm going to be shocked. I'm going to wake up dead, like, oh, damn, I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't finna concentrate on being dead, fool. I'm going to be surprised. Because I'm thinking positive all the time. I tell my kids, if I'm on life support, don't unplug me. Just put a joint in my mouth. That's all. That's all. And leave me there. I'm going to walk again like Lazarus. And if I don't, you need to be surprised. It's all surprise. I'm always positive, and negative is a surprise. I can't believe it was negative. I'm not getting rid of chant negativity and wallow in negativity. I'm not doing that. I'm not finna chant negativity or wallow in negativity. It's positivity all the time. You gotta stay positive. You can't let negativity make you negative, because now you're gonna be in the rut. I just want y'all to know that. Positive, positive. Always look for the positive, what you could do. Positive, how you can move on. Because that way you ain't got to try to hide. See, a lot of people, they try to hide that they feel bad. They try to hide that they not happy their money messed up. They embarrassed. They finally find out you got to move back with your mama, or you got to move back with your auntie. So a lot of people is ashamed and just ain't tackling it head on. What I'm telling you to do is tackle it head on. You move back with your mama, be positive. Go back, Ma, I lost my job, I lost my house, can I stay? And she said, yeah. If your mama say, yeah, you can stay there, you got to be thinking positive. That's the only way you're going to get back out of there. You can't be, woe is me. You can't do that. You got to take it on the chin. You got to accept it. Yeah, man, I lost my job. Man, lost my apartment. I got to give me a new apartment and a new job. That's how you got to be. Not, oh, well, where's me? No. Man, be honest. I lost my apartment, lost my job, lost my apartment, back at home with my mama, staying with a friend, sleeping on the couch. I'm finna get off this couch. I'm finna give me another job. I'm finna give me another apartment. That's what I'm finna do. Be honest about what happened and think positive. Don't try to think positive. Don't mean ignore what happened negative. Thinking positive means accepting what happened negative and thinking about a positive result from that. That's how you got to do it. You got to accept what happened and add that into the calculation and think positive. You got to think positive even about the negative situation. You don't run from the negative situation, because that positive thinking going to trump that. Whatever happened, that positive thinking is going to trump it. So you can eat that. You can say it with no problem. You can say it with no problem, and then you don't want to talk about it. So Reggie did you dirty and broke up. Don't keep talking about that. Don't keep going around your girlfriend. Girl, he, that's going to keep you in the rut. Don't keep talking. And girl, he cheated on me, and then he did, no. He cheated on you. You didn't admitted it to yourself. You might mention it once. Y'all broke up. That's that. You're not going to keep saying that over and over again, because you don't want no broke up Reggie. You want a new place. You want a new man. That's what you should be thinking about. I'm finna give me a new place. If it's, I'm gonna give me a new man. Now he did, and then she, you know what I mean? And then she Pharaoh, she did this. What you supposed to do when your woman did this and did that? I have brothers ask me all the time, what you supposed to do for her when your woman cheat on her? Not ask me about her and keep talking about her. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Not keep dwelling. How long you been dwelling on that? She probably been gone in 2 years. What is you doing? Accept the fact you broke up, you hurt, and you're moving on. It's real simple. But telling a bunch of people will not help you. You do better talk to yourself than to a friend. Your mind is like this. So say I'm with a woman and we break up. I cheated on her, she dumped me. Or she cheated on me, we broke up. Whichever one, we broke up. The more I talk about it, the more I'm grinding it into my head. How I'm going to get it out of my head, and I'm constantly grinding it into my head. So what I want to do is not talk about it and not think about it. Now, I'm going to think about it, but my mindset got to be not to think about it in order to get my mind to stop thinking about it. So, yes, I'm going to keep thinking about it, but if I'm telling myself I want to eventually stop thinking about it, and I do my best to not bring it up, right? I'm going to miss her this much, then this much, then that much, then that much, and slowly I ain't going to miss her at all. But you got to let it happen naturally. But when it go from here to here, you still acting like it's like this. So you getting over him or you getting over her, then you keep bringing it up and you go right back in. You got to start over again. You got to start over again. Shut up all about it. Let it dwindle away. Shut up about it. You just keep rehashing it, keep making it fresh in your mind. It's going to take time for it to go away out your mind. And when it go away out your mind, you're going to be them forgot you trying to get rid of it. And you're going to look up one day and say, oh, I ain't even thought about that. Yeah, that's how it's going to happen. What's going to happen is, Chris, if you just don't talk about it, and you're going to still think about it, and you keep telling yourself, okay, don't think about it. Because let's say you get up and you think about it, Chris, right? You tell yourself, don't think about it, right? Because naturally you're going to think about it. Then get up, don't think about it. Okay. Then you go start running around doing stuff. Then you'll find yourself usually you'll only think about her at night or maybe in the morning. And if you keep trying to think about her less and less, it will get less and less. And one day you'll be them forgot and you won't even be thinking about her. And you'll be like, oh, wow, whatever you do, don't call her. Because you call her, you got to start all over again. Every time you get him or her out your system and you say something, you got to start all over again. You got to start all over again. You got to start over. You got to start all over. You got to start all over again. Just shut up and let it heal. Stop being worrying about the fact you're thinking about it. You loved her or think about it. If you loved him, cool. You broke up, cool. But stop talking about it to get it out your system. Let it go. Live with the pain, and the pain gonna get less and less and less and less. And don't talk about the pain, just live with it, and it will go away. It's gonna go from why we break up, da 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 da. Then it's gonna get to the point like, I didn't want to break up with him and her, but I sure wouldn't get back with him. That's gonna be the next thing. The next thing is you're gonna realize, you're gonna admit that you don't like to break up, but you ain't gonna wanna get back. Yeah, it's gonna get to the point where ain't no way you would take them back if they called you. Even though you love them, even though you missed them, there's no way you would go back in that mess. Man, listen, leave your daughter there. You got to leave the kids with the mama. That ain't nothing. That ain't no big deal. Ain't no big deal that you break up and leave the kid daughter. You can still see your daughter. Ain't no big deal. Like people tell you. Your daughter needs you your whole life. Been there, done that. Some of these men, they thinking, oh, but my daughter, next thing you know, she 18 any damn way. Because they got you thinking raising the kid is little. No, raising the kid be till they 30 years old. How long is 18 to 30? So as long as you take care of yourself, she gonna still need daddy. So just let it play out until she get big enough to need daddy. She ain't going nowhere. And another thing too, don't let that woman know you crazy over that kid. If you let that woman know you crazy over that kid, she ain't gonna let you see it. But if you act like the hell with that kid, she gonna put that kid on your porch. I'm telling you, if you just go ahead, when somebody mad with you and you break up and you like, I want to see my baby. No. But if you like, I don't care about that baby. Oh no, you're gonna see your baby. So you don't gotta understand. If she think you really want to see the baby, you definitely ain't gonna see the baby. But if she think you going on with your life, she gonna make you see the baby. I'm telling you. That's just how it is. But you got to remember something, Chris. You can't do nothing for the baby if you don't do something for yourself. Go do something for yourself is the best thing for your baby. The best thing for your daughter is you do something for yourself, not do something for her. And how y'all men tripping because the baby with their mama. The baby straight, the baby with their mama. I know women like that. I know women. They get a son. The son go live with the daddy. She tripping. I'm like, how are you tripping that the boy is with his daddy? The parent, no parent is supposed to trip because the kid is with the other parent. Now, maybe if the kid with a stranger, yeah. But how is it bad that the kid is with a parent? Just let that sink in. How is it bad that my son is with his mama? How's that a bad thing? How's it a bad thing I break up with my son and my son with his mama, my daughter with their mama? That's not a bad thing. They with their mama. Now, if I break up and they're at the Artie home, yeah. They're at the police station, yeah, but they with their mama. They don't need nothing but their mama anyway. They don't need you. You can just come with some money and stuff and see them here and there. They don't need you. When you were a kid and grow up in a house, I grew up in a house with my mama and my daddy. Me, my sister, my mom, and my daddy. And all we cared about was my mom. We love my daddy, but mommy is what's popping. Daddy's never popping anyway. Daddy's not popping. Anyway, I grew up with a mother and a father. I'm glad my father was there. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, we was only excited when mommy came home from work. We wasn't all excited when daddy came from work. We like, hey, daddy. But we wasn't excited. It's just like daddy home. But mommy home is up. Daddy's for big kids. Daddy ain't for no little kids. And then, and I'm glad you brought that. That's why I say positive energy all the time. So I'm with a woman. She have a daughter by me. We breaking up. I'm a little distressed because I don't want to leave my daughter. That distress is going to give my daughter anxiety, right? So I don't want my daughter to think nothing's wrong and make my daughter's life miserable. So a lot of y'all, by letting the daughter or the children know that something's wrong with the split up, you're doing more damage to the child. You're supposed to make the child think it's cool, it's straight, you good. You're not supposed to make the child think, oh, this is just horrible. Me and your mom broke up or not. Now you're giving the child trauma. You're giving the child trauma. You're not supposed to let your child think something wrong. Sometimes the women do that too. Like, don't tell the baby that. Let the baby think this is all. It's fine. It's fine. Your son, you break up with his daddy. Your son like, Mom, when daddy gonna come over? Oh, he be here. There ain't nothing. Daddy right around the corner. Daddy here. You want to see daddy? I'll call him right now. Yeah, call him. Put him on the phone. See, daddy right there. It's good. It's all good. You don't tell the baby, yeah, this is horrible. Your daddy done left you, stressing out the doggone baby. He's supposed to be here with us. Now your son all messed up. You gotta think positive all the time and tell your son something positive about that so the baby can have a normal life. The two parents should make it as pleasant for the baby as possible. So I go, boom, my son living with the mother. I go visit, I'm finna leave. My son say, can I go with you? I'm like, boy, you with your mom. You're supposed to be with your mom. You ain't supposed to be with me. Mommy the one do all this. I'm telling him like a man. I'm telling him, you got to grow up to be a man. Son, I don't get pregnant. Mommy get pregnant. You mommy son. You mommy baby first, then man. Son, come here. Whose stomach you came out of? Daddy's or mommy's? Mommy's. All right, see, my son's smart. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Here, boy, go do that. Boy, you came out of mommy's stomach. Stop. Yeah, daddy didn't have you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you want your kids to be smart, right? Then your son, right? You say, so Farrah, why would you tell him that? Because my son, what? My son gonna get a woman pregnant and have a baby and might go through that. So I'm teaching my son how to deal with that with his baby. Because the baby belong to the mama. The babies don't belong to us. Y'all tripping. Me and my sister belong to my mama. My mama belonged to daddy, and we belonged to mama. That's how it went. My daddy owned my mama owned us. We came with the package with my mama. That's how it really goes. If you think it don't go like that, get 15 years old and talk crazy to your mama. I bet your daddy gonna want to hurt you over his wife. My daddy told me one time, hey, come here. That's my wife. That's what my daddy told me. He didn't say that's your mother. He didn't say don't talk to your mother like that. I said something to my mama. I had started smelling myself, I guess. My dad said, come here. My dad said, that's my wife. Don't you ever talk to my wife like that. He didn't say, don't talk to your mama like that. Oh, my soul. He let me know she don't belong to me. She belonged to him. And I belong to her. Just like that. That's what he told me. So them kids belong to their mama. They don't belong to you. The lady belonged to you, and she had the babies. The babies was not yours. She had the baby, and they hand the baby to you, didn't they? All right then. They hand your daughter to you in the hospital. You there, she pushed the baby out. The baby know her, the baby inside her, listen to her talk the whole 9 months. The baby don't even want to be bothered with you anyway. Little baby's gonna cry. They don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? If I go get my son, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I gotta take him back to his mama. They not gonna want to be with you. Kids want to be with their mama. Your son gonna be 17 for he'll be willing to be with you. And then even then, he ain't gonna really be wanting to just be with you till he like 19, some 20. Kids want to be with their mama. Period. They want to visit daddy. They want to know daddy there, but they don't want you. They don't want you. They want their mama. And that's a fact. The woman belonged to me. The kids belong to the woman. So by default, the woman and the kids belong to me. When I go, the kids belong to their mama. Yeah, yeah, that's what they belong to. And then the mama got what I don't got. Because you're not really, your position as a man in the house, ain't you ain't no child raiser. You in the house, you security. The man, you security. You represent protecting the situation. Y'all raise dogs? When your Rottweiler, when she had them puppies, can the man be back there with them? No. She'll attack him. The male dog got to go in the front or go somewhere else. He cannot go around them puppies. She'll kill him. Can the male dog go around them puppies? No. He got to wait until she bring the puppies to him. That's a fact. She got to wait till she picking them puppies up with her mouth and drop them off around him or let them follow her around him. He cannot go around the puppies. Matter of fact, you can't go around them. You can't go around. You're a female, Copper. You can't. Let me tell you something. Anybody raised dogs know when she had them dogs, you can't just go back there where she had them babies too quick and walk up on the little spot where she gave the babies at. I don't know, bro. We're not really doing. Is that what you on? You on some clown stuff or what we doing? I'm trying to figure out why you trying to ruin the conversation with. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You get, you know what I mean? You're a grown ass man. Come on, man. This don't even look like no. It don't even look like we joking. Now you gonna be somebody daddy. How, how you gonna be a child's daddy? You ain't got no respect for other brothers and sisters to keep the conversation professional, intelligent. You want to be the class clown. Now, what kind of daddy you gonna be? Is it? Come on, bro. You disappointing. Let me see. Let me see. I think you constantly been saying. Let me see. Yeah, I ain't really. I don't want to have to raise no grown man. You too old. So think positive all the time, no matter what it is. That's the only way you're gonna make it through this here situation that we living in. You have to have a strong mind and you have to be positive. I tell this story all the time. So we was on Oahu and I found out they was growing on the Big Island. So I told my family, we need to go to the Big Island because I want to grow. So we went and told the landlord, hey, we ain't going to be here next month. So we stayed till the end of the month and we moved out. Now, Hawaii, people live out at the beaches and sleep outside because it's warm. So we took our VW van and put it in Goodyear and had Goodyear put the new tires, put everything on it. We're going to get it out. We're going to ship it to the Big Island. So I'm with my queen, her daughter, and my homeboy I went out there with, and we looking for a place to sleep on the beaches, right? Because it's the first of the month, so we had to get out the house because we want to keep all our money and move to the Big Island from Oahu. So one night, we walking looking for a nice beach to sleep because people sleeping outside. So we walking looking for a place to sleep on the beach, and I could see my homeboy and my queen. They got this sad look on their face, like this look like they homeless or something. But the whole time, this is a real plan. We not homeless. We making a move, right? So I remember I had to stop and have a meeting and say, "What's wrong with y'all?" I said, "Look, we in Hawaii. People fly out here to sleep at these beautiful beaches. So you telling me we in Hawaii finna sleep outside in a beautiful beach and y'all sad?" They're like, "Oh, we didn't think about it like that. We moving to another island. We finna be here, what, 5 days?" Because they had let their man go into some type of depression, and you out here in Hawaii is beautiful as hell. And it's like people camp all the time. What? So they had let their mind paint a negative picture about something that was positive, was great. Because when we got to the Big Island, they got beaches where people go live for 4 months. On the Big Island, people leave their homes. Hawaiians leave their homes and go live on the beach. People with homes, they go live on the beach for 4 months. How you in Hawaii sad because you finna sleep on the beach? I told them, I say, when you get up in the morning, watch all the tourists going to the airport. They got to leave. You don't got to leave. You ain't visiting. We live here. This is beautiful. They're like, "Oh, yeah, you're right." And we out at a beautiful beach, and they were sad. And we wasn't even homeless. We didn't get kicked out. We moved out because we finna move to another island. This is how your mind play tricks on you. They wasn't, I'm like, man, that's why I say positive. I had positive energy. This is positive. They had negative energy. Way out on Oahu on the island, on a beautiful beach, drinking coconuts and chilling at the beach. And they was walking around acting like they was kicked out of apartment in Chicago and got sleep on the viaduct. I said, man, what was y'all sleep the whole time we took the van in to get fixed? Where was y'all sleep when we went to the people to ship the van to the Big Island? Y'all ain't been paying attention. We moving. We cannot stay in the house. We moving on the 7th. They want to rent the house out on the 1st. We had to get out the house. We not finna get in no money. We finna spend that money over there. What? They let their mind paint a dark picture of sleeping on the beach in Hawaii. Something that tourists come there to do. Your mind will have you like the Ghetto Boys. At night, I can't sleep. I toss and turn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. They was getting depressed over a plan. I made a plan to leave. Why is y'all acting like the house burned down or something and we homeless? And this was a plan. This is a plan. Get out this house, ship the van, hang out on the beaches, and go to the Big Island, which is exactly what we did. We went to the Big Island. Duh. They all that down feeling, it went away once I talked to them. They was like, "Oh yeah." Once I had to talk to them and it went away. But I was confused. I'm like, how is this a bad thing? How is moving a bad thing? It's 90 degrees out here, 80 degrees at night, palm trees, coconut trees, beautiful beaches, and a whole bunch of people on the beaches all night. People be on the beach all night. Because them Hawaiians be out there surfing at night. They be out there at night surfing. They be out there at sunrise surfing. Coming back tomorrow. The shark came. I hit him like this. Yeah, all you do, hit him in the nose, bro. And he go the other way. They out there punching sharks. Yeah, Hawaii, they be surfing early in the morning. And if a shark come up, they punch him in the, elbow him in the nose. And he go the other way. They come to me, shark try to get me. Yeah, bro, shark try to get me. Rasta, shark came. Big brother came. I punch him in the nose. He go the other way. I say, you punched him? Yeah, all you got to do, punch him right here. And they leave. They say they leave when they feel like you're the aggressor. They only go after you when you act like prey. So when you act like a fish they're supposed to eat, that's when they get you. So that's why they'll get you when you're trying to paddle in your feet because you look like a fish. You look like you leaving. But they say if you fight them, they feel like you're the dominant creature. So if you turn around and punch his ass in the head, they say he's going to go the other way because you dominant. You know what I'm saying? So look, that's all I got to say about that. Listen, you got to think positive all the time. That's what's going to help you with your mental health. Okay? You got to think positive. All right? Physical activity, nutrition, sleep, mindfulness, and relaxation techniques, social connection, learning, and creativity. Go learn how to do something. But always think positive. If you get sick, you got to think positive. You got to start looking into what can you do to help heal yourself? What can you do to get better? You break up in a relationship, you got to figure out what can you do to get better? What can you do to still make your life good after you broke up in this relationship? Financial issues. You got to regroup and try to figure out what could you do better to get your finances together. You don't panic. You don't beat yourself up. You roll your sleeves up and you figure it out. You got to stay positive or the bad experience is going to eat you up. I'm not saying ignore the bad experience. I'm saying you got to think positive or the bad experience is going to eat you up. You got to stay cool, calm, collective. You got to think positive. You got to accept what went wrong and you got to think positive. That's the only way you're going to get out of it. Whether it's friendships, family issues, whatever, you got to stay busy and you got to always think positive. Always. Always. That's the only thing going to get you through a situation. No matter what it is. No matter how horrible it is. The horrible thing happened. You was in a bad car accident. Now you're in the hospital. You got to go through a lot of surgeries. You have to think positive in order to get your life back. You can't get your life back dwelling on what happened or thinking negative. Dwelling on what happened it's just gonna make it worse. In some cases, dwelling on what happened could unalive you. I remember after I got stabbed, I was at my girlfriend's mother house out in Gary, because that's why we was coming this way. And I started thinking about what happened to me. I started hyperventilating. I almost passed away. Yep, I started thinking about that and thinking in a negative way, and I couldn't breathe or nothing. And I was going to pass away. My body was going to turn off on my soul. They was ready to call an ambulance and stuff. But I gathered myself, started breathing, And I said, "Oh, I can't be thinking about that like that. That'll unalive me. I swear to God, I was finna be out of there. The thought was finna take me out. Needless to say, I never did that no more. I stayed positive the rest of the time. I went to rehab and learned how to walk, and all that happened because I was thinking positive. As a matter of fact, I was thinking so positive that I got the woman pregnant before I could walk. My youngest son, he was conceived before he was put in his mama before I could walk. Before I could walk, she was on top. That's how positive I was thinking. I was positive all up in there. Yep, she got pregnant. I couldn't even walk. I hadn't even went to rehab yet. That's how positive I was on my soul. My youngest son, his mama got pregnant before I could walk. Now he's super grown. I had two daughters after him. I couldn't walk. I had three kids. I got six now and doing great. I hope y'all learn from this. No matter what you're going through, I ain't saying hide the bad part. I'm thinking this was bad, admit it, deal with it. But this is where you're thinking. You can't think down in the gutter. Don't ignore what happened bad, but it can't be the dominant factor in your life. The dominant factor in your life is what you're going to do to put your life back on track. That got to be dominant. You homeless. What got to be dominant is you finna be unhomeless. Not, oh, I'm homeless. Oh, I'm homeless. No, I'm finna get a place. I'm finna get a place. The main thought got to be fixing the situation, not the situation. Support the channel. Thanks for watching. I hope y'all learn. I hope you learn from what I'm telling you. I'm telling you some real stuff. Victory.